Do you think winning a conflict means raising your voice, standing your ground, and showing force? What if I told you that history's greatest warriors won battles without ever lifting a sword? They won in silence. It sounds backwards, right? But calmness is the real secret weapon. It's not luck. It's a skill. Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai legend, won over 60 deadly duels. But here's the twist. His true weapon wasn't steel. It was his unshakable mind. Every day you're facing invisible battles, judgments, pressure, inner criticism, toxic people, and yet you walk into these wars without armor. This video reveals the ancient mental strategies of the samurai, the art of staying calm even at the edge of death. We'll dive into control, silence, ego, breathing, and presence in a clear and practical way. No fluff, just powerful tools. Because the one who conquers himself becomes nearly unstoppable. The harshest battles don't happen with swords. They happen silently, inside the mind. When anger, fear, or pride take over, it's like stepping on an emotional landmine. One wrong word becomes a scream. One tiny insult becomes a war. The samurai knew. To win outside, you must first master the chaos within. Self-awareness is not a luxury, it's survival. Before the fight begins, the wise warrior has already won internally. There's a quiet force that can shut down even the loudest conflicts, not reacting. This isn't weakness, it's mastery. Reacting is easy. Anyone can snap, but to pause, breathe, and stay still while emotions rise, that's real strength. Musashi once said, "The enemy moves on impulse. The warrior moves on purpose." And that purpose starts with controlling your inner fire. Think back. Have you ever argued with someone and later realized the real fight was with your own emotions? That's because every outward reaction begins with an inner trigger. Your mind is a hidden dojo where you train, fall, and rise. An undisciplined thought becomes destruction. But a trained thought? That's a blade sharper than steel. Win that duel, and the world can't shake you. You become the calm in any storm. Let's say you're waiting on a crucial call. It doesn't come. Instantly, your brain creates stories. Did they forget me? Did I lose my shot? Anxiety builds, not because something happened, but because your mind imagined it. Here's the difference. The silent warrior takes a breath, observes, and lets the thought pass like a cloud. He doesn't react, because he knows the real enemy wears the mask of fear and lives inside you. I remember being publicly criticized by someone who barely knew me. The old me would have fired back instantly, but instead I stayed silent. I breathed. I let the storm pass. Something unexpected happened. The other person got lost in their own anger. And I looked composed. Calm became my power. Silence became my shield. And I realized, the less I reacted, the more control I had. This is how you break emotional escalation. Think of it like smothering a fire with a wet cloth. Instead of feeding the flames with ego, you smother them with presence. Want a tool? Try this. When you're triggered, count to 3, inhale deeply, and ask, will this response bring me peace or just help me win? The samurai knew, mastering your reaction time means mastering the outcome. Before the mind calms, the body speaks. It races, heartbeat rising, fists clenching, breath shallow. The body is your first battlefield. That's why the samurai focused on breathing before anything else. Their breath was their anchor. And in today's chaos, that's what we've forgotten. Most people snap because they don't realize they're already physically in attack mode. There's a simple method called box breathing, used by samurai, monks, even Navy SEALs. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. Repeat. This signals to your brain, we're safe, stand down. Try it in the middle of tension. It's like installing calm in the middle of a storm. The body settles and the mind follows. It's not magic, it's mastery. Picture this. You're in an argument. Your throat tightens, hands tremble. You don't need better words. You need oxygen. Just close your eyes for 10 seconds. Breathe. Loosen your shoulders. The argument will still be there, but you won't be in survival mode anymore. Self-control begins in the body. Once you master that, your mind becomes your ally. And what comes next? That's where the real transformation begins. The mind is like a sword. Sharpen it daily, or it rusts. The samurai didn't wait for war to train. They prepared in silence while others slept. You can do the same. Start your day with a ritual, not some mystical routine, just a few minutes of silence, breathing, and intention. Set your focus before the world pulls you into noise. That's how inner warriors are built. I started with just 5 minutes, sitting on the edge of my bed, no phone, just my breath. At first it felt pointless, but slowly I noticed. Traffic didn't bother me. Small arguments didn't throw me off. It was like I had a pause button inside. I could press it any time. That 5-minute ritual became my shield. And the more I practiced, the stronger it grew. Want to train your mind? Make your own ritual. Maybe it's walking in silence, writing 3 things you're grateful for, or listening to a passage from a powerful book. Try Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or Way of the Peaceful Warrior. It's not about what you do, it's about doing it daily. The mind becomes loyal when it trusts your consistency. That's the real strength. Let's talk about ego, the hidden enemy. Most of the time, you're not fighting the person in front of you. You're fighting your own pride. One small comment and suddenly, you need to win. You need to be right. But here's the trap. When ego takes over, wisdom leaves the room. The argument becomes a battle of insecurities, and nobody really wins. Think of the ego as a barking dog on a short leash. It growls, bites, pulls, but why? It's scared of looking weak, scared of losing control. But you hold the leash. You can pull it back or let it run wild. The samurai didn't fight for pride. They fought for honor, and sometimes true honor meant walking away. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise. To beat the ego, start by noticing it. It shows up when you need to prove something, when silence feels unbearable, when you crave being right more than being at peace. Catch it, then pause. Take a 10-minute break, sip water, breathe. That moment of space gives you back control, because when you defeat the ego, you've already won the greatest battle of all. Musashi had a strange habit. He'd show up late to duels. He kept his opponent waiting, restless. This wasn't disrespect. It was strategy. His silence was loud. It showed control, confidence, dominance. Silence, when used wisely, is one of the sharpest weapons you'll ever wield. It cuts through chaos without making a sound. Try it. The next time someone provokes you, say nothing. Just pause. Let the silence speak. It disrupts their rhythm. It forces reflection. A pause in a tense moment can be more powerful than a paragraph of defense. And here's the secret. Silence often reveals more about others than about you. It shows who's really in control. In your daily life, practice this. Provocation, silence. Unfair comment, silence. Passive-aggressive jab, silence and a steady gaze. This isn't weakness, it's emotional cold steel. Real warriors don't need to shout. They know the weight of what's left unsaid. But this strength comes from something even deeper. Choosing your battlefield wisely. One major mistake in conflict. Fighting in the wrong place, at the wrong time, for the wrong reason. The samurai knew choosing the battlefield was part of victory. He studied the terrain, the hour, the conditions. Today, the battlefield is emotional. And most people argue in the worst places, like in front of the kids or in public. Have you seen couples argue in restaurants, or parents yell at kids in stores? The issue might be real, but the setting disrespects everyone. Sometimes the wisest move is to hold your fire and wait for a better moment. A private, safe space can turn an argument into a conversation, and that's how battles are won, before they begin. Use this filter. Should this happen now? In this place? In this tone? If not, pause. Say, this is important. Let's talk later. In private. That's emotional intelligence in action. The samurai didn't run from fights. They chose when not to fight, and that was often their smartest move. Once you learn this, something powerful awakens inside you. So now you know, the calm you seek is already within you. It's not a gift for the few, it's a skill you can build. Will you keep reacting on autopilot? Or will you train your mind and body like a warrior? Imagine how many conflicts could end before they begin if you simply breathed and stayed silent for one more second. Here's my challenge to you. What's the biggest internal war you're ready to win? How will you apply these ancient lessons in your daily life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your struggle, your strategy. Because growth isn't meant to be done alone. Together we rise stronger. Together we build unshakable calm.